All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. We're taking the EZA Strength God Goku, one of the fan favorites from the recent Saiyan Day EZAs, into Red Zone against Omega Shenron. He is unfortunately on the second rotation, but we do have him with Birdku, which is exactly what I wanted. I mean, we're not going to get 6 key spheres with this Goku, but it's not actually the end of the world, considering he does have type advantage right now, so I'm not really too fussed about that. Then we can give all of these key spheres to the gods so they can double stack. But yeah, really looking forward to trying this guy out. Of course, we do need to build up his passive with each tap performed, getting that attack and defense up to 50%. That built-in additional is going to help, and any extra additional from the dupe system is going to help us as well. He has gone full crit. That is because, of course, way before this guy was considered to even get an EZA, I don't know, for some reason Chris back in the day in like 2017 decided to give this guy full-blown crit whenever it was. So yeah, that is why that build is like that. So I'm expecting to see a lot of big yellow and orange numbers. I want to see loads of crits from this guy for the fact he does have 20 crit in his passive. So hopefully that happens. Of course, we are also mini stacking for 3 turns as well. You know, getting that extra attack and defense plus 50% every time he supers for 3 turns. So he, all in all, once he's fully built up in here, he should actually be in a very, very good spot. And of course, after receiving 5 attacks, he will also have a full 30% damage reduction as well. And because he's going to be supering before he gets hit, at least he's got a bit of extra defense before he does get hit, start building his damage reduction to kind of decrease the possible risk of taking a lot of damage. But as I said, once he's fully built up, he should be really like raring to go. Like, he's probably going to be in a very decent spot. I do also, please don't be locked. He's not okay. You decide to lock and seal him. I did also bring this Bardock as well, because while he is on the God Goku's 200% lead, which is great, you know, in terms of the floating units, we've got My Gods, which are triggering Godly Power and Warrior Gods. Like, those are 2 big attack links for any god unit to get active, for them to like maximize their damage. And I really want to trigger them to like see how, like, you know, kind of get him to do the best he possibly can. And because we're on a team, I mean, do you know what? 40k on a basic, considering he hasn't supered, hasn't built up his passive, hasn't got any extra damage reduction, turn 1 actually isn't the worst. And then 110 pre-super, and also what? An extra 12% damage reduction in total. So he's actually got already up to 15% damage reduction, which is a very good start. I wanted to build that up as much as possible before we get into the later phases. But yeah, given the circumstances, I'm not gonna lie, considering the range we just saw him tank from no super, no damage reduction, no extra attack and defense, to some damage reduction, then super attacking, then building up the extra attack and defense in his passive from attacking, that actually wasn't bad. For turn 1, that actually wasn't too bad of a showing, I can't lie. But yeah, the reason why we got Bardock is to make up for the fact we won't be triggering those attack links of Warrior Gods and Godly Power all too much, which I think is a shame, because I think those are really crucial links for any god unit. Like, it's not a huge detriment, but you are missing out on a whole bunch of extra attack without them. Like, both links do offer Godly Power is giving him an extra attack plus 15% and also 0.5% crit, which isn't a lot, but the extra 15% attack is nice. And then the extra attack plus 10% and the 0.5% when performing a super attack. Again, 0.5% portion, not important. But that in total is an extra 25% attack from those attack links that he'll be missing the majority of the time on his team, because of course we have the 2 Dokkan Fest God Gokus on the team who don't link to him, because there are 3 God Gokus with the same name. And the only other unit on the team that has those links are the EZA STR gods. That's why I'm floating them. Like, he links okay with Birdku, it works, but he's missing out on some very crucial links that can help him do some pretty decent damage, especially once he's fully built up. So that is also why I brought Bardock, to give that extra attack and defense plus 30% every other turn he does pop up, to kind of make up for those missing links that he will be missing out on, like, most of the time. I'm going to transform them immediately, just so we can bring out the Sable in their or on their super attack. So any future Red Zone runs, I bring this God Goku in. I'm very much tempted to bring him on the Year 7 LR Gods 170 lead instead, just so we can have more units that can help him trigger those links. For example, we'll have dual Year 7 LR God leads. By the way, that's a big crit. That was a big crit. What, 3.5 mil? Double digits, no item already again. He's only super attacked twice. His damage reduction, though, I think might actually be fully brought up to that 30% already. He's been hit quite a bit, or if so, he only needs to be hit like one more time. But, you know, at least on that 170 lead, yes, we'll be missing out on the 200%. However, we will have links active more often than not with Gogeta Blue. There'll be dual Year 7 LR Gods, so one of them will be floating. That's already 2 of them, which means the majority of the time, Godly Power and Warrior Gods are being activated. And then there's also... I mean, there's potential to bring other units that can link to him, but those are pretty much the main 2 that I don't really want to miss out on. Or not miss out on, but, you know, those are the main 2 units we can bring where we can have those links often, more often than not. I said it's not a detriment, but it would be nice for him to constantly be doing as much damage as frequently and as consistently as possible, rather than here on the 200% lead. But it shouldn't really be too much of a problem without them. But I mean, so far he's done well. As a turn 1, we saw him with absolutely nothing, no build up whatsoever. Took 40 here on a basic in slot 1, which I'm not gonna lie, is not bad, if, you know, given the context. Then he got hit again with only 6% damage reduction, took 30k. Then we saw him super. I think he got an additional, but it was only a basic. So that's an extra attack plus 20% in total from his passive. The extra 50% for 3 turns on his super. And then he tanks like triple digits. And now he's immediately down to double digits. So he's doing really, really well so far. Really, really well. Look at Goku go with all the dodges. Do you want to dodge that one as well? The most important one? Yep, there we go. God Goku doing God Goku type things. You just love to see it. But I can't imagine that Strength Goku is too far off having his passive fully built up with the extra attack and defense and damage reduction. As I said, his damage reduction is either fully built up or he needs to be hit one more time. This is one thing we will come across, is because he's going to be in slot 2 a lot of the time. With Birdku in slot 1, we will not be linking with my Godku. But lucky enough, there's no attacks in slot 1 pre-attack for us, so he will go in slot 1 this time. 227k defense. I think this is the last turn he has to mini stack for. I think, at least. And then this may be the last turn where he gets the final attack and defense plus 10%. This is what I mean. 5 million attack stat is decent for a sub EZA, but Warrior Gods and Godly Power, I mean, it will only make so much of a difference, but it will make a notable difference. And this is why I'm tempted to run him on the 170 lead on any future runs we decide to do. But yeah, there we go, double digits. If he didn't have his damage reduction fully built up, it's definitely fully built up now. And his attack and defense up to the 50% should also be fully built up, and I'm pretty sure he's finished mini stacking on top of that. Annoyingly enough, though, the only red zone stage this guy would not be great in is, of course, against Broly's final phase. But Broly makes a lot more sense because you have time to stack up the gods a lot more before you transform them. And then I could keep this guy on rotation with the LR gods and keep those links active at all times. But unfortunately, that's the one stage he's probably not very viable in, because that type disadvantage of over 1 million attacks, that will probably rock his shit, even though he's pretty good. Alright, let me now float my gods. They can stay off rotation now. So we can constantly have those links active every so often during the final phase. But yeah, so far he's done really well. He's done really, really well. Like, I'm really impressed with him. It's a shame they decided, like, this was such a mixed bag of EZAs. Like, for example, EZA Strength God Goku, really good, red zone viable. Could probably get caught here and there, but that's why you have items, but still viable for red zone. And I'm not saying sub EZAs need to be viable for red zone, but he's really good. AGL God Goku, they fumbled hard. Like, I don't know what happened, but they shagged him. A lot of people were excited for his EZA. I mean, we got the support as well when we're up to almost 400k defense. God Goku's going to be chilling right now. But, you know, a lot of people were excited for his EZA. They fumbled hard. Like, they shagged him. His EZA was meaty. The Int God Goku, kind of, he's solid for what he is. He can be viable in probably ESBR and, you know, other realms of the game. That's fine. It was a really standard run-of-the-mill EZA, you know, like, even though AGL God Goku was quite bad, he still had, like, that build-up crit chance. This one has build-up damage reduction. You could have gave the one, like, build-up dodge chance or something, or additional chance. 7.3 million attacks as well. If you can crit, that's going to be a lot of damage. 4.2 mil. Ah, if only that was an additional super. Oh, what? 2 additionals, no additional supers, but no item, double digits on basics, considering they're doing over 420k, I think, in the realms of. Tanking really well. It does have Bardock support, to be fair, but even so, I think he'll be fine on this phase. But yeah, they could have gave him something extra. Int Whis is pretty good. It's just when it comes to Beerus and Whis and LR Beerus and Whis units on global right now, you don't have the best kind of category to run them on because of the ROF blues, especially at 55%. Like, it's just not a good idea. And then, you know, but even though LR Beerus and Whis, very, very good unit. They are very, very good. Int Whis is also very good as well. Again, we just have to wait for the 8th anniversary to happen so that LR Kid Gohan can drop, and then we have that flat 200% Bond of Master Disciple category lead. Tech Whis, again, kind of a standard run-of-the-mill EZA, nothing special whatsoever. Int Beerus, pretty good. Rage Vegeta, they really, I don't know what they did to my boy, but they really shaked him. Like, they really just saw how good he can be and was like, no. Don't get me wrong, the 40% damage reduction is great. We've taken him in a few red zone events. He tanks really well, but his damage is absolutely pathetic. And his counters do nothing. Like, they are terrible. So, like, he had so much potential of being a very, very good free-to-play EZA, and they just kind of gave him none of it. Like, the main consensus I got from this, apart from, like, a handful of them, I mean, you kind of expect LR Beerus and Whis to be good. So I won't even include them, but you take Strength God Goku, kind of Int Whis and kind of Int Beerus right now on global. And it was kind of like, all of these EZAs had pretty decent potential, especially, like, again, AGL God Goku, the Strength one who ended up being pretty good, thank God. And then, you know, Rage Vegeta. Dodge this and that would be hilarious. Dodge this and that would be hilarious. He didn't dodge it, but we were fine. We got what we needed. But it really did feel like they saw the potential of a lot of these EZAs and just decided to hold back on purpose. Like, I know sub EZAs aren't meant to be ridiculously good. Like, they're not meant to be like the new best EZAs in the game. But that's not what I was expecting. But it just felt like they held back on purpose on a lot of these, just for the sake of holding back, which is such a shame. But fortunately for this guy, didn't hold back that much, and he done really well. Good damage output, very solid defensively. That damage reduction once fully bought really does help after the 3-turn stacking. And he performed really well. Really, really well. I do think if he got hit with a super with no item active, especially while he's building up, it's probably curtains, or if you have full health, very close to being. But that's also where you have items. But for a sub EZA, especially out of the batch he came from, he could have been a whole lot worse, considering what some of the EZAs got done to them. But yeah, he done really well. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys, and peace.